Would you like to 10x your productivity and stop feeling so overworked and overwhelmed? Welcome to the Extreme Productivity Podcast with New York Times best-selling author and Inc. 500 entrepreneur, Kevin Kruse.
Hey, you time management ninja, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the show. I'm Kevin Kruse, and I'm sharing tips and advice from my new book, 15 Secrets Successful People Know About Time Management. And it's got such a crazy long subtitle, I'm not even going to read it today. But suffice it to say, I interviewed hundreds of billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs to get their advice and tips and behaviors and habits, all so that you can achieve extreme productivity. In the last episode, I revealed Richard Branson's secret productivity tool, and today you're going to get my 3210 email system so that you can cut your email time in half and actually achieve inbox zero. But first, I want to send you the 3210 cheat sheet. It's a ready-to-print PDF, and you're also going to get a bunch of other bonuses. All you need to do to get it is send a text. Just send the word ACHIEVE, ACHIEVE, to the number 44222. Or, of course, just go over to this podcast website, which is productivity-podcast.com. And before we start with the life-changing, time-saving advice, I want to give a big thank you to Lydia Navarro-Walker. She just recently left a great review on iTunes for this show. She said, "In a world that seems to be spiraling around me at an alarming rate, I found these 13 minutes and 35 seconds the best spent out of a day full of stress and looming deadlines." Thank you, Lydia. I'm glad you enjoyed the material. Anyone out there, the biggest gift you can give me is to leave a short review, a 60-second review on iTunes. And Lydia is a time management ninja because she didn't just say this 13-minute episode, this short episode. She called it out, 13 minutes and 35 seconds. She is counting the seconds. You know she's counting her minutes. So let's go into it. Imagine if you could cut your email processing time in half. According to the McKinsey Global Institute, office workers are now spending 2.6 hours a day reading and writing emails, which is about a third of a 40-hour work week. And I don't know about you, but how many people are only working 40 hours these days? And what's worse is that smartphones have us checking email constantly while we're sitting with our family at our dinner table, in the middle of the night, worst ever, while we are driving. Don't do that. So you've got to stop the madness. You need to reclaim your hours and reclaim your minutes in your week. So here are 7 steps to master your email. I'm going to move fast. This is going to be like drinking from that fire hydrant or that fire hose. But remember, you'll be able to get the notes, get the cheat sheet when you text the word ACHIEVE to the number 44222. So here's step 1. Unsubscribe from email newsletters. Do you really need all those emails coming in from those fashion websites, those flash deal of the day offers, all those viral clickbait, goofy headlines that pretend they're news and they're not news? Don't give permission to all those companies to intrude on your day. They're just trying to sell you something, and they can't do it unless they get something in your inbox and get you to open it up. So here's what you can do. You can, of course, go in and manually search on your email on the word unsubscribe, and all those newsletters will come up and you can manually unsubscribe them. Or, this is really cool, go to a website called unroll.me, UNROLL.me. You give them access to your email box. It will automatically find all those email newsletters that you subscribe to or got subscribed to. And with just a couple of clicks of the button, you could unsubscribe or leave them alone or roll them into one big daily email. The other idea I have is I have a backup secret junk email address on a Gmail address that I use. So whenever I sign up for email newsletters that I actually want or think I want, I use the backup email so that it doesn't appear in my work primary email box. And then, I schedule time to read those, or, Sunday morning with a cup of coffee, I'll open up that email box and start going through it. But check that out. Check out unroll.me and get all that junk out of your primary work email box. Step 2, this is a big one and an easy one. Turn off all email notifications. Email isn't supposed to be a text message. When we're getting 50 to 500 emails a day, getting email notifications is a sin. That ding, that buzz, that little you've got email window that pops up, it interrupts your concentration, your work sprints, your ability to be present and mindful in a meeting or in a conversation. Whatever notifications you're doing, just shut them completely off. Step 3, think twice before you forward an email or CC somebody, or God forbid, blind CC, BCC someone. Wall Street Journal had an amazing report about a company in England called International Power. They cut their total email traffic by 54%, over half, just by encouraging their top executives to think twice before they forwarded an email or added anyone to the CC line. Sometimes we add people to CC to keep people in the loop, and we're actually contributing to the information overload problem. This one trick alone at International Power cut email in half. Think twice before you send an email. The less email you send, the less email you're going to receive. Step 4, use the subject line wisely. I can't make this up. I got an email today from a college kid looking for some business advice, wanting to know about how to find venture capitalists and people like that. He sent it to me, and it was a very, cordial, nice, polite email. There was nothing in the subject line. And my first line back to him, I said, hey, if you don't know that common sense email etiquette, business etiquette, is to put something in the subject line, you got bigger problems than how to reach out to a venture capitalist. And that sounded harsh, but that is tough love. And then I gave him the answers that he was looking for. So use the subject line to indicate what the message is so the receiver can process it. Use FYI in all caps so that people know this is just for your information, archive it or read it at your leisure. Or in all caps, you could put action required. Now that's rude if the person doesn't report to you or you don't have a real strong relationship with them. But all the time, my direct reports thank me for it. If I'm giving them a task to do, they want to know, okay, this is required, and when is it due by? So sometimes I'll write to do by February 29th in caps, and then there's the message. A lot of people will put NRN in the subject line, followed by whatever the subject is. NRN stands for no response needed, and that eliminates all those reply emails like thanks, or okay, or got it, or yes. You don't need those. They don't need to take the time to send them. You don't need to take the time to open them and read them. Put NRN. Or what I use all the time, I will write the subject in the subject line and follow it with EOM, all in capital letters. EOM stands for end of message. This is using email almost like a non-urgent text message. The person receives it, they can get the information in the subject line. They don't need to click open the email, read anything, and respond. Very short and to the point. Use your subject line to indicate the action required. Step 5, keep emails short, really short. Think of it like a text message. Email is no longer the place to write a business letter or a memo. Realize that being brief isn't rude. It's a sign of respect for the other person's time, the recipient's time. You could go to a website. It's called 5.sentence.s, 5 sentences. And let me spell this out. It's a weird one. FIVE.SENTENC.ES. And they suggest you limit all your emails to 5 sentences or less. And they even give you a little footer that says, why is this message so short? And people could click on it to get that explanation. And then here's my big secret 3210 system. All right. Because you've shut off notifications, You do not want to be checking email at all times of the day. Ultra productive people don't leave their email window open and just check it throughout the day. They process email. They don't check email. They process email during scheduled times, just like any other task they have to do. You want to live from your calendar. So here's what 3210 means. This is what works for me. 3, I'm going to check email. Let me take that back. I'm going to process email 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once in the middle of the day, once at night. What does the 2-1 stand for? That's 21 minutes. Kind of like a Pomodoro technique, like a Pomodoro timer. I set my timer for 21 minutes. Sounds corny, sounds like, oh yeah, I just know I need to be brief. Try it. Put the timer on your phone if you don't have a separate clock. When you see that number clicking down, it's like magic. Your goal is to get through as many emails as you can to try to get to inbox 0 in 21 minutes. You won't always get there. And all of a sudden, I open an email and it's got a link in it. And if I don't have that timer, I might click the link and scan that article. And you know what? There's an interesting link in that article. And I click it and I'm off on another article. Next thing I know, half my afternoon's gone. But now I'm an expert in like the blue dye used in ancient Egyptian artwork or something. I don't know. So set that timer, 3210, 3 times a day, I process email. 21 minutes, I set a timer. The goal is to get to 0. Now, here's the final step 7. I told you I was going to pummel you with a lot of information. When you're processing your email, and listen, whether you check it 3 times a day, process it 3 times a day, or whether you're processing it every hour, that's up to you. And whether you're spending 5 minutes at a time or an hour at a time, that's up to you. But when you're processing it, think of the 4 Ds. You think immediately for every message, can I delete it? Can I delegate it? Can I defer it? Should I do it? So I go through, and the first thing is, can I just delete this message? And listen, for most of us, delete means archive. You can always find it later. You just archive it. We all have unlimited storage space. If I can't archive it, can I delegate this message? Meaning, can I forward it to somebody else and make them deal with it and forget about it? If I can't delete it or delegate it, I'm going to do it if it's like 5 minutes or less. To me, and some people, it's 3 minutes. It's the touch it once principle. If I can deal with it and get it off the plate, I want to do that. So if it's 5 minutes or less, I take care of it. That leaves things I need to take care of that are going to take more than 5 minutes. That's called defer, and that just means schedule it. So you can just drag, if you're using Outlook, drag that email into your calendar and pick a 15-minute time slot, a 30-minute slot, an hour slot, whatever it is, when you will deal with that email. But get it out of your inbox. You're going to inbox 0. If you're using Gmail like me, it's a little more complicated, but there's the menu at the top, I think says more, then there's a drop down where you can turn it into an event. And it copies the entire email message into a calendar entry. So you want to live from your calendar, not from your email inbox. 4 Ds, can I delete it? Can I delegate it? Can I do it in 5 minutes or less? Or I'm going to transfer it to my calendar. Wow, told you that was going to be a lot. How can you apply it today? At the very least, go shut off your notifications. Your phone shouldn't be buzzing. Your computer shouldn't be dinging. There's no pop-up windows. Shut them off. Second quick thing, go to unroll.me, clear out all those newsletters, and then try the 3210 system. Hey, maybe to start, maybe it's a 630 system where you're checking processing email 6 times a day, 30 minutes time. I don't know. Do what works for you, but don't just be like a dog responding to that bell. You want to be intentional about your emails. We covered a lot of stuff. We covered so much stuff that you should get the 3210 email mastery system. It is a 1-page printout that you can tape to your monitor, that you can give to your friends to show them that you love them and don't want them to live in email either. All you got to do is text the word achieve to the number 44222 and come back for the next episode next week because it's one of my favorite high achievers. I'm going to let you know what Mark Cuban's #1 piece of advice is when it comes to productivity. Do you know that when I cold emailed Mark Cuban, he responded to me in 61 minutes? I was shocked. That is a busy billionaire. And hey, maybe I write good email, but that is a busy billionaire that is so on top of his game, his world, he was able to respond in an hour. He's not stacking up his emails. He's practicing inbox zero. Until next week, master your minutes to master your life.